And their stopper is Matthew Wilkerson. We start with a throwdown. The Mob coming out in the red pinstripes. They get first possession. Now Connor Hollenbeck is out again. He missed their game yesterday. That's why Matthew Wilkerson is getting the start. And an opening foul. We will have a face-off. We don't shoot free throws in slam ball. If you get fouled, you go one-on-one against the guy who fouled you. So Darius Clark going against Justin Holmes. Whoa!
Wow.
How quick was that?
It's lightning fast. For the highest jumper in the world record high jumper in the world, he went low and fast to find success there.
And now that pushes him to a perfect 5 for 5 on the face-off attempts he's had this season.
Easy, let him go now. Let him go.
He's really effective.
Let him go.
Tipped away by Grant. Stormy, fill us in on the betting lines. What are you looking at for this game?
This is the largest spread that we have seen this week in slam ball. The Mob are favored by 16.5 points. And you might think, oh my goodness, that is a really big number to expect a team to win by. But the Mob have been doing it night in and night out. 7 of their wins this season have been by 20 or more points. 4 of them have been by 35 or more points. The Gryphon, along with the Ozone, by the way, the only teams to keep them within 13.
I'll tell you what, the way that we were effective against them is to stop all of the timing that makes them so good. And most teams have not had the opportunity to stop their timing.
Gage Smith killed the bounce there for Jones and then forces the travel.
He's by far the best in the league at killing the bounce. He gets in the lower bed and he stays in there and he kills everything that comes down there.
Opening minute here in our second game. Here come all the cutters for the Mob. Off the mark for Clark.
They had what they wanted, they just didn't finish.
Jones jumping with Gage. And you don't want to do that.
Gage has proven himself to be the best player in the league to this point, in my opinion, and I don't think it could be questioned or denied.
So you think Gage Smith better than Tony Crosby?
I think Gage Smith is better than Tony Crosby because he eliminates buckets, not just makes buckets. I believe last game he led the Mob in scoring, and he only went down there and played gunner for 1 quarter.
When I was talking to him the other day, he said that he fully feels like this is his sport. He was made for this, and his only thing that he wished that he had was that he could have started sooner. So hopefully that's what the next generation can have, right? Like they know the sport is around now, build on it and start earlier.
I also think it's a viable option. 1 second here. Wow, what a stop. Yeah. What a stop by Dak there.
Darius Clark with the stop for the Mob.
I think SlamBall is going to be a viable option for professional football players maybe that didn't make an NFL team, or maybe they choose us instead of the XFL.
Rest penalty points, play some D.
So after a face-off, you keep possession of the ball. Griffs looking for their first points of the game.
Let him go, let him go, let him go. Good.
Nobody's cutting for the Griffs, so Grant trying to take it himself. Swatted away there by Gage Smith.
And you heard Brendan Kirsch say at the beginning of the game, we're always cutting. And that's something right now that the Griffs have to make sure they do to be successful.
There's a former NFL guy, Matthew Wilkerson. He was in the camp with the Jaguars and the Packers at tight end.
Yeah, the crazy thing about Matt is that you don't look at him and you don't think he runs a 4.6. But this guy, he started as a defensive lineman, and the Jaguars actually made him a tight end.
He's a family of athletes, too. 2 older brothers who played almost a decade in the league, so he's got a good foundation.
I think his brother Muhammad Wilkerson is on his 12th or 13th year, so yeah, he's definitely been in the league for a long time.
Pro Bowl defensive end.
Yes.
They got dunked on there, Cameron Horton. They count that as a 2, so the Mob with a 5-0 lead.
And this is what the Mob does. I think the most underrated part about the Mob is their defense. If you see right now, they haven't scored a point yet. Their defense is tremendous.
Holmes fouled as he enters into the tramp because that's the second foul. We only have 1 face-off per team per quarter. In the bonus, the Griffs get 2 points and they keep the ball.
Yeah, that's when you have to know, Cam, that you have to just lay off of that. That's just a silly foul that's unnecessary. Now you're giving points that they didn't deserve.
When you know you're in the bonus, do you go hunting fouls at that point?
I don't think you go hunting them, but I think at the same time you're aware of what's going on.
Simpson quickly coming the other way, has a cutter, but he takes it himself, the one-handed flush.
Brandon Simpson is one of the most valuable players on the Mob. Aside from Gage Smith, he really does everything.
Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Don't touch him.
Grant enters the scoring bed, has Jones. And 2 in the tramp, turnover, back over to the Mob.
I tell you what the Griffs need is for Kaishan to get going, Kaishan Jones to get going. Once he gets going, he changes the game. I believe last game he had 34 points, and he got his team involved.
Here comes the cutter. Oh, good stop by Wilkerson.
Wilkerson's tough.
That was on the Offensive Player of the Week in Week 2, Cam Hollins.
If you can stop Cam Hollins from coming in there with a full head of steam, then you have an opportunity. Great stop by Gage Smith there.
Loose ball, Mob, they get on top of it. Horton coming the other way. Through the leg, settles on the island. Collins coming down. And they have 2 in the tramp for the Mob. Turnover.
2 in the tramp. It looks like there may have been some contact on the island that they missed, and that's what the Mob players are discussing.
Under 40 seconds to play here in this first quarter. Low-scoring game.
Yeah, Griff's are doing a great job of defense, but the Mob are doing a better job of defense.
So Smith out of position. The Griffs trying to take advantage. 3 seconds on the shot clock. A shot from the outside, left short by Jones.
Cannot enter the tramp from the outside. That's why they do the whistle. From the offensive side, you can't enter the tramps.
So encroachment called against the Griffs. 16 seconds to play here in this quarter with the shot clock turned off.
The Mob do a really good job of getting these into the quarter points. So watch this. You're going to see somebody, one person cutting, another person cutting, and here comes Gage. Here comes Gage.
2 seconds, and the slam is good for Cam Horton. He beats the buzzer, and the Mob completely dominate that first quarter with an 11-2 lead.
See, the Mob, like I said, the most underrated.
Hey guys, here's the deal. Hey guys, listen to me. A couple things. Hold up, guys.
Take a look at some of the highlights from that first quarter with the Mob flying in from everywhere. Darius Clark hanging on the rim. 11-2 after 1. Welcome back to Las Vegas alongside Ozone head coach Trevor Anderson, Stormy Bonantoni. I'm John Schriffen. Griffs with the ball. They find themselves down by 11-2. And 2 on the island. A travel called against the Griffs. The Mob are 10-0, led by Brendan Kirsch as the head coach.
Wow.
There's a dunk there by Hollins. Trevor, that's your former coach when you played with the Mob.
Yeah, Brendan Kirsch is my former coach, and he's a master of the meticulous. What I mean by that is that he does the simple things very, very well, and he makes sure that there's never a mistake in anything that they do, and it shows in their gameplay.
I mean, it shows even the way he comes dressed, right, Stormy?
Meticulously.
I love the fully suited up look. They are all about professionalism.
They really are, and they do a good job of maintaining that professionalism on and off the court.
What was it like, though, when you're, 26 years old, having a 23-year-old head coach at the time?
It was odd, but I was so dialed into the process and ready to learn that I was ready to listen to anybody that had information, and he had the most information.
I feel like that's got to be hard to trust. Some 23-year-old telling me what to do.
If you have a big ego, it's definitely hard to trust. But, I wasn't an ego guy, and nobody in the Mob ever was. And I think that's part of what made the Mob always so successful.
How different has he been now watching him this iteration?
The baseline level of him is a lot calmer, but his outbursts are a lot more inflammatory, if you will. But it's fun to watch.
When he goes, he goes.
He goes, he goes.
What did you pick up from him now, you being a head coach?
I think to be able to run, wow, look at
Gage Smith,
Unbelievable.
slam ball gives you wings.
It does do that. It does do that. It's getting rough. Oh, yes.
Here's a big hit.
It's getting rough out here.
Big boys throwing their bodies around. And 2 Griffs in the
Wow,
trap.
what a
Turnover.
defensive possession. Gage is here for the smoke. Just know that.
Well, not only is he doing it on both ends, but he's bringing the energy, too, like getting everybody on board.
No, he always gets people on board, and I think that every team needs to have somebody like that makes sure that everybody is dialed in and engaged at all times.
Now, you said he's the best player in the league, and he just showed you why on both ends of the court.
Both ends of the court, and I think what the Mob do really well is that they have Cam Hollins that can come back. That's a great play offensively.
So a foul as the Mob entered into the tramp, illegal contact, and that'll set up a face-off here in the second quarter. It'll be Darius Clark for the Mob going against Adam Stanford on D for the Griffs. Coach, who you got?
I like Dak. I like Dak every single time because if he figures out that they try to get in quick, he's going to punch it high, and he'll still be in the air probably by the second half.
There he goes. Quick. Here comes Dak.
Yeah, it's hard to stop that. It's almost impossible to stop that.
Dak attack. I love it.
He has one tramp to hit. You have two tramps to hit. And if you don't get across there lightning fast, you have no chance. And you see, no matter what he does, he tried to get down into there. Adams just could not. Gravity was working against him, right? Gravity only works so fast, and he couldn't get back to the tramp in time.
Poked away. Griffs get it back. All right, how do the Griffs get on track here?
I need Kaishan to start attacking. Until he starts doing that, the Griffs aren't going to be at their best.
Holmes layup no good. Look at the outlet. Smith from his back midair gets it off to Simpson. And the mob, a little freestyle as Clark with the easy
dunk. Just a smart play, just a smart play.
Yeah, Holmes the only guy with points on the board right now. And to your point about Kayshawn Jones, he had 24+ points each of the last 3 games. They have really relied on him offensively.
Yeah, and you know what? If he attacks, everybody is better on their team. There's just something about it. There's always one guy in the team that needs to attack to make the team good. And by the way, that last stop and outlet down there by Gage Smith gave me Kevin Cassidy flashbacks. My stopper when I was on the mob, who I think was the best of all time.
Well, fun fact, Brendan Kirsch told me that when Gage got switched from gunner to stopper after they drafted him, that the thing he did first, immediately, get on YouTube and watch Kevin Cassidy clips to kind of understand the position and get it down.
Kevin Cassidy was absolutely the best. He was 100% fearless like we always talk about, but he had some of the most spectacular blocks and outlets that the game has ever seen.
Here's Adam Stanford on the face-off, going high.
Nice, Adam.
And he beats Holloway.
That's the first points that the Griffs have scored all game. The other 2 points that they had were just off the penalty.
Is that what it takes to get the Griffs going here? First bucket of the game comes with 1:34 to play in the second quarter.
Let's see if Kayshawn can get going. I'm telling you, he is the factor for their team. Great defense there.
Double teamed, but they're going to say a hold against the mob. So because that's the second foul here in this quarter, in the bonus, the Griffs get 2 points and to keep the ball.
It's a good thought, but you got to let him go, okay?
Cam Hollins is one of the most effective defenders in this league. He has this mentality about him, this mindset. He just is here for it.
See a face guard in Jones. Here comes Jones skying into the bottom. Trent will give it up, but that is illegal. You can only settle on the middle pad, which is the island. If you stand on any other pad, that's a violation.
Gage turns your former success into current turnovers because he's so effective at making sure he makes the right move every time.
Killing the bounces, Wilkerson almost forced the turnover.
Watch this, watch this, watch this.
Here we go. Kayshawn Jones, one-on-one.
I told you, once he gets going, things will change.
They called that a 2 because he didn't get his hand on the rim. Under 40 seconds of play in this second quarter.
Can't jump off the island. Cannot jump off the island.
So they waved off the bucket. The officials correctly ruled that as Horton jumped off the island. So the Griffs get the ball back.
Let's see if Griffs can put something together here in this last 24 seconds. What a defense.
Touch the player as soon as they put it down on the ground.
Good defense.
Jones now enters the scoring bed. Kick out. Stanford. And a shot clock violation.
6.5 seconds left. Watch this.
Here comes Gage Smith trying to go coach to coach.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Goodness.
Mouthpieces and everything flying all around the stadium. Gage Smith is the best player in this league.
You can tell a guy's a gamer when his headshot comes up and he's got a shiner.
How about the play of the game from Gage Smith? Stopper, gunner, he can do it all out there here in SlamBall. It's the mob up big at the half.
Oh, travel to an island. Let's go. Call that. Let's go. I seen that. Hey, on offense. No, Dak is. Dak. No, you want me to go? Hey. I'll go low. Outside. 2. Go, Cam.
That's Brandon Simpson for the Mob. We appreciate him putting on a mic for us for this game so we can hear everything going on the bench for the Mob. Alongside Ozone head coach Trevor Anderson, our betting analyst and sideline reporter Stormy Bonatoni. I'm John Schriffen. Well, you said Gage Smith is the best player in the league. What impressed you the most about his performance in that first half?
Well, first off, he's doing his job. He is eliminating anything that comes into the bottom trim, and that's a very effective way to create defense in this game. And here comes Gage right here. As you see him come up, not only is he waiting, his timing is impeccable. He knows when to go up, he knows when to stay down. And when he gets the ball in his hands, he is electric. Look how high he goes and he attacks. Maximum height, maximum physicality, and he's there for all the smoke. Look at that outlet pass.
Was crazy.
Yeah, he gives me those Kevin Cassidy vibes, you know. My stopper when I played for the Mob was Kevin Cassidy. He would be sideways, bouncing off of his back, making an outlet pass. But what Kevin Cassidy could not do is come down and get a bucket like Gage.
6 points, but where he shines is on the defensive end. 3 stops, that monster hit on Justin Holmes. And Stormy, there he is with that black eye.
Yes, exactly. He is so much fun to watch, so physical, and what Brendan Kirsch said really stood out about him in training camp was the timing, yes, but the fearlessness that he plays with, and we've seen that on display for sure here in the first half.
We're just waiting on the Gryphs to come out.
Got to regroup.
Hurry up, let's go.
That half was so good for the Mob. Stormy, did they cover in that first half?
I was joking when we got off. The spread, the largest in SlamBall this season, like I said, 16.5. They're covering it in the first half. That is not easy to do. But that just speaks to the domination that they've had so far this season. And what I love so much about the mentality they come out with is Brendan Kirsch still doesn't think they've played their best.
Incredible. We start each half with a throwdown. Going over the top is Darius Clark for the ball. It is tied up by the Gryphs, so now the defensive team will get possession. Jelani Janice, head coach for the Gryphs, what do you think he told his squad at the half?
Jelani, as a competitor, always knew that you can't make up for what hasn't been done. You have to get on track and do the things that you do the best right away. He's an execution guy, and I know for a fact that he's going to have his guys ready for the half.
When you're in those huddles or halftime conversations, how much of it is like team-wide versus challenging some individual guys?
I think the team has to hear you challenge the individual because you don't want to feel like you're singling somebody out without the team being involved. And I think that's how you maintain team camaraderie, so everybody knows exactly what you expect from the next player as opposed to just themselves.
Big slam by Kayshawn Jones.
You can
they
see already.
That a 2, not a 3.
You can see already the Gryphs have come out with a different attitude.
And Kayshawn Jones, a guy they need to step up.
Well, Kayshawn Jones, when he does step up, you'll see they're totally different.
2 Gryphs in the bottom bed, so that is a violation. It's a 15-point lead for the Mob. It feels like it should be bigger. The Gryphs are still in this game.
The Gryphs are very much in this game. It doesn't take much, but you do have to get some defensive stops. You have to prevent those one-track lobs.
That was Dak attack, Darius Clark. An 18-point lead for the Mob. Once you put it down in open court, you can get hit. But you gotta let them go as soon as they leave and enter into that tramp area. So a foul called against Clark.
Here's Dak catching that one tramp lob, and I gotta tell you right now, if you give this guy 2 steps, he's the highest jumper in the world, and he has a trampoline, so he's gonna catch him, he's gonna dunk in the head.
How is he gonna do on defense here on this face-off? Justin Holmes, 6'3", 235, comes with the power and a little finesse.
You know, he always has a finesse. He's a wide receiver. He's a football player like me. And we always had a little bit of a flair. We always thought we were good basketball players, but we stole the athleticism from him. Look at Justin, how he goes, hides the ball, comes underneath, and still gets a dunk off, even though Dak was in great position.
Justin Holmes, a perfect 6 for 6 on faceoffs this season.
And I loved what we saw from him yesterday, our first ever overtime in SlamBall, and he said, I'm gonna be there on the defensive end, and I'll take the offensive faceoff to close out that win for the Gryphs.
That's right, he put the team on his back, and I don't believe he scored in the second half at all until that faceoff.
What does that tell you about a guy that he was struggling and he said, no, I want this moment?
Yeah,
As is Cam Hollins.
Cam Hollins is ready for the moment at all times.
Holmes from the backside settles on the island. Now Jones. They replace each other. Gage Smith has an eye on every single one of these cutters.
This guy's amazing, man. Look at him.
Shot clock is down to 3. Smith on his back pulls it away.
Now watch Dak. Watch Dak right now. There he is. Oh, he took it.
Contact on the stop.
So illegal contact.
Yeah.
That was Wilkerson drifting.
The Mob's last bucket, if you look, they're just waiting for that guy to come. If you want to beat the Mob, you have to turn back, and there's Gage right there. He's not allowing anything to be available in the back.
So I apologize. They called illegal contact against the Mob, so the Griffs get the ball. Grant, a deep four, missing everything. Hollins, big jump, and the power slam. Posterized and Wilkerson.
He's a special player. He has one mission, and that's attack.
And you said off the top of the show, John, about how, like, yeah, he's mean mugging in his picture, his headshot, but he is the nicest guy you could ever talk to.
He really is.
So sweet when you have those one-on-one conversations.
Look at this. Look at Cam. He really has an intention on touching this guy, and when you come back to the other end, you try to get a bucket. There again, Gage Smith.
What is it about SlamBall that seems like it just transforms guys into superheroes?
Listen, it's a superhero mentality more than anything. Once you have the confidence, then you can just go out and play the game, and that's what transforms everybody.
Loose ball.
Oh, wow.
That was won by Simpson.
Look at that.
Another loose ball. The Griffs picked this one up. Holmes, one-on-one, had the stopper out of place.
Great job, and Justin knows when to attack that stopper when he's out of place.
Wilkerson enters the tramp with Clark.
Savvy.
Too
That's just a savvy move. Pass to yourself. You used to see Myrie Bowden, the assistant coach for the Slashers, do that move. He'd pass it up to himself, catch it, and go back and dunk.
Jones. Holmes with a 360 slam. Justin Holmes. That was sick.
Well, see, what Justin did right there is what we always try to teach is to hit that sweet spot. Watch where he hits in a tramp. That corner, even if Gage is on the tramp and you hit that corner in the perfect timing, you can go up and still dunk on him anyway, and that's what Justin did.
Justin Holmes told me that coming into this first SlamBall season, that was his #1 priority, was figure out the tramp and try to make that work to his advantage. He's done an excellent job of it.
Really, he's a football player. We have something in common. His coach that sent him here, recommended, is Amir Ismail, who was one of my former teammates on the Hombres, and he was his coach at the Iowa Barnstormers. I also played for the Iowa Barnstormers, so we have that football connection, and he's just been a pleasant guy to be around the entire time and a great player.
Smith with Wilkerson.
Oh my gosh.
That's just too much power from Gage Smith.
Goodness gracious.
He makes everything look easy, too.
He does, but you know what? He's doing the simple things well. And I think that's what every good player must be able to do.
Holmes.
Good pass.
From the island, skying through is Adam Stanford.
That's what you need in this game. There's no tramp lock. Now watch Cam roll in the back.
Wipe out.
Watch Cam wait on the outside. When the ball gets to the island, watch who comes. Wow. So what happens when you attack from the outside, like I said, is that you get the stopper thinking now. You get him thinking and wondering what's coming next.
So foul on the outside already in the bonus with illegal contact. 2 points awarded to the Griffs. 18 seconds to play in this third quarter.
They need a bucket right here to finish this quarter. Get that momentum going to the next.
Dribble handoff taken away by Hollins.
Aggressive, super aggressive defender.
The tie-up goes over to the Mob. 8.4 to play in this third quarter.
You can look for a top tramp lob coming right now. You can look for the Mob to get to the island and have somebody like Gage Smith or Cam Hollins coming right down the middle.
Here comes Gage Smith with the bounce down into the scoring bed. Couldn't pull off the 360.
A rare miss by Gage Smith.
But it is all Mob here in our second game of the day. A 19-point lead after 3. Do the Griffs have a comeback in them?
This isn't a huge lead. We can make this up quickly. But we got to be disciplined, and we can't make any more mistakes.
Got to get stops, fellas.
Got to get stops. Man, be careful down there on that one hop. You may have to lift your legs up a little bit higher and then press down as hard as you can to kill that bounce, especially when Gage coming down, all right? If you see Gage coming down, somebody stun at him at least, all right? Stun at him, make him think about it, may slow him down a little bit.
Get that first option.
That's Jelani Janice, head coach for the Gryphons. That's Jelani Janice, head coach for the Gryphons, but the Gryphons couldn't get that bucket. Another stop by Gage Smith.
They had the right idea coming out there to attacking that one tramp, because that's the only way you're going to beat Gage Smith.
He was right saying that, hey, this is a close enough game in the fourth quarter. The way the scoring structure is, points can add up quickly if you can go on a run. But the thing about the Mob, and the spread does come into play here right now with the Mob having a 19-point lead. Here, I'll revisit this after this quick face-off with Cam Horton getting going.
Stanford on D. Here comes Horton. The Mob just have it figured out. When they're on face-offs, they just run at the rim.
And so we'll make that a 22-point lead now for the Mob. And they will continue to pile on the scoring as much as possible here late. They've been in the cover window the entire game. So they're one team that I actually keep confidence in despite a large lead late in the game.
Batted away by Wilkerson. There's the stop the Gryphons need. Now can they convert on this end?
One shot.
Jones up top.
Great job. Gage just did a great job of reading it, knowing that he was going to come in there.
Kelly tracks down the loose ball for the Gryphons. Justin Holmes has his eye on the rim. 360, excuse me, windmill comes up short.
Watch Cam wait back. Watch Cam wait back, Cam Hollins. So why that's effective is because when you attack and you see somebody coming behind, you have your eyes on both of them, you don't know who to go to. And when you hesitate, Cam Horton will make you pay.
So they stop play as Cam Horton was down.
Real quick, get him off here.
I think he got hit in an uncomfortable location.
Give that man some room.
Can't relate.
Ooh, came down onto the foot of Wilkerson.
Happens every 5 years.
That's Horton. Get some time to shake it off as he is subbed out of the game as Brandon Simpson comes back on the floor for the Mob.
Brandon Simpson is the Swiss Army knife for this team. He plays defense.
Cam Horton leads the league in assists per game. But to your point, when Simpson comes in, you don't miss much.
You don't miss anything because he's a great offensive player, a great defensive player, and he's hard-nosed. He can be a handler, he can be a gunner, he can play everything.
Jones ran on that island and a shot clock violation.
Yeah, you can't do that. You know, that just lets you know that late in the shot clock, there wasn't a real plan going on in place right there.
Holloway resets as he leaves the tramp. Gage Smith coming out of nowhere. So this game is over. The only question, will the Mob hold on and cover the 16.5-point spread? 2 points in there for the Gryphons.
Well, right now, I think Gage is going to put his foot on the gas. The Mob have shown in games that late in the game, they're going to allow Gage to come down and just get a few buckets.
Got a double-double, too. 12 points, 10 stops, 7 loose ball recoveries. He's been involved in every angle.
And now they're in the bonus, so automatic 2 points after that last foul, and they keep the ball. Holloway bumped as he enters in the tramp zone. Cutting and slamming is Cam Hollins.
They just know how to find them. They know where they're cutting, they know where to look, and they know how to find them. One tramp.
Holmes tried to throw it in from up in the air.
It's just a slightly behind pass, that's all. They had the right timing, they had everything right, just a bad pass.
But that's where if you're an underdog bettor, you're screaming at your television. You need those buckets.
So a timeout called by the Mob. Brendan Kirsch up big. Wants to talk things over with his guys. Let's listen in.
We have the second game. Deontay's in at stopper, okay? Hey, guys, good job, Brandon. Those are great reads out there. Guys, listen to me. Here's what I want. I want to lock down defensively just like we are, and I want offensively for us to run prime solo, and let's run some shot clock, okay? I'm not going to tell you to stop dunking, all right? If you want to take a jumper at the end of the shot clock, that's fine, and if the dunks are there, let's just keep dunking. Listen, but I need to manage people. Dak, you're out right now. Gage, you're out. You're in. Jay, you're in. You're good to go because Cam's hurting right now. Okay. All right, so that's what we're going to go with, guys. Hey, listen to me. Do not lose your defensive intensity. Do you hear me? Do not lose your defensive intensity and play smart. Let's go.
So Brendan Kirsch already coaching for the main event. He's subbing his 2 big guys. Gage Smith is going to sit. Deontay Bird will come in as the stopper now for the Mob.
Now, he did also say, I'm not going to stop you guys from dunking. Like, keep scoring, defensively locking down, that's going to be our priority. But from the betting perspective, and sorry that this is where I come from, this is my mindset, you wonder, taking Gage Smith out of the game, how much that could impact things in the last 2 minutes.
Don't apologize for talking about betting, because what do they say about good teams?
Good teams win, great teams cover. Come on, Mob. You know, if you want to be a great team, get there.
I'll tell you, one of the unsung heroes for the Mob is assistant coach Noah Ballou. You're talking about, if I had a Mount Rushmore of SlamBall players and I had to put one handler up there, it would be Noah. Not just because I won world championships with him, but because he's one of the most savvy players ever to play this game. And they get that influence from him from behind the scenes with Brendan Kirsch.
It's incredible to see so many guys who have come back now for this next generation of SlamBall. Former players, former coaches, as Deshaun Kelly slams that one in for the Gryphs. These players basically had a head start from when you guys got to play, because you guys were trying to figure it out. A monster slam by Simpson.
Simpson's a guy, man. He's a dude. Yeah, these players have they have the opportunity. They have us, you know, and we're just pouring into them as much as we can because they won't let us play anymore. So we might as well pour our information into somebody else.
If you could, would you still strap it up and get out there?
I have 100,000% would right now. I would definitely come in and get 2 or 3 good minutes. If Coach Gennaro Hemphill will put me in the game, I will definitely give him some good minutes.
Brandon Simpson, there is no let up for the Mob. Denied there. Deontay Bird, the backup stopper, with a good stop.
I played as teammates with Deontay Bird's dad, Big George Bird, who's a legend of the game. There you go. It's SlamBall, guys. It's just chippy. It's just chippy. Everybody relax. And SlamBall is a game, guys, where it is physical. I mean, and it is personal. And there's going to be some flare-ups here and there. But we do our best to manage them the best we can. But hey, sometimes things happen.
I know, and I know exactly what happened. I'm just saying, last thing we need right now is violation points, suspension, ejection, all that kind of stuff. Guys, take a breath. Take a deep, deep breath, okay?
All right, so here's what started a little flare-up.
And normally these flare-ups happen when somebody's doing just a little bit too much. Doing one more thing than necessary. That's all it is. And then you're always going to have a teammate come to the aid of his teammate. That's what family does. Mob is a family. That's what they're going to do.
How do the other teams in the league perceive and view the Mob?
You look at them as a team that clicks on all cylinders, and you have to slow them down. I think the one thing nobody talks about, because they see all their scoring, is how well they play defense. And your offense has to be on point if you're going to beat them, and everybody knows it.
Just under 40 seconds to play here in this one.
Let's see if the Gryphs can finish strong here. I know Jelani Janice and Rodney Bond, 2 of the most fierce competitors I've ever competed against. And we competed at this for 20 years. Their mindset is going to have them ready to finish strong.
So they were unaware of the shot clock violation. And the Mob.
Look at Cam Hollins. Look at Cam Hollins. Good defense. Uh-oh, face-off should be.
Stood up.
Yeah, it should be a face-off.
And another penalty. So 2 points awarded automatically. That's the 3rd foul in this quarter.
2 points, the last 2 points. Last one's 3. 2 points. Hey,
23 seconds left. Let's see what happens here.
Back him up.
Good defense.
Mob ball. Out of bounds. Mob ball up.
So the Mob gonna hold things up with the shot clock turned off. They can run out the clock
here. I know Deontay Bird wants to get a bucket.
I don't know if they can make the spreads big enough for the Mob. They win it by 33. Wow. 66-33 over the Gryphs. The Mob stay perfect. They move to 11-0 on the season, and they now earn a ticket into the main event. Coming up next, it'll be the Mob taking on the Buzzsaw in our main event here in Week 3. Our play of the game, Gage Smith, is with Stormy.
Gage Smith doing it again. Your head coach, Brendan Kirsch, said, if you want the Mob to stop scoring, then teams are going to have to stop us from scoring. What's allowed this group to night in and night out score at will the way you have?
Man, just consistency. We show up every day. This is our job, so we just got to show up every day, go to work, and we're doing pretty good at our job. So.
Some players don't like playing in the second game. Some players do. What's your feeling as you get set for this main event here? Because you got held out the last couple minutes of this game.
Right, yeah, the second game is always harder when you play. The first team played and then we played, and then we had to play back-to-back, so that's always tough. We're the only team that's won back-to-back, so we're going to do it again tonight. So. What's
it going to take to remain undefeated after this main event?
Mob mentality, baby. We show up every day, we give it our all, we do it for each other, and like the only way teams are going to beat us, they out-mob us, so it's where we're just going to show up and win. So.
Thanks, Gage.
Thank you, Stormy. Thank you all.
Gage Smith finished with 12 points. 4 of 5 from the floor, but he was double-digit in stops. 10 stops for Gage Smith. Just an absolute rim protector. And then he can do this. It's almost not even fair. Mob, Buzzsaw, main event, next.